So first of all, thank you guys for joining. We wanted to take some time to talk about what working at SyncVR Medical is like. So before we get started with the questions, it would be nice if you could just take a minute to introduce yourselves and maybe what you guys do very briefly, starting with Isti.
Cool. Hi, my name is Isti. I'm one of the business developers in the UK.
Followed by Nadia.
Hi, my name is Nadia. I am business developer in the Nordic and basically responsible for everything going on there because I'm the only person there.
Thank you. Gradus.
So I'm Gradus. I'm one of the game developers creating content for the VR headsets.
Nice, thank you. And last we have Rodrigo.
I'm Rodrigo. I'm a software developer that it's part of the platform team which takes care of the dashboard of SyncVR.
Thank you guys for that. And with that, we'll just start with the first question. What does your role entail and how would you explain what you do to a layman that doesn't know anything about what you do? Starting with Isti.
Cool. What does my role entail? So the company's mission is to improve healthcare with XR tech. What I do is reach out to healthcare organizations like hospitals, or it could be anyone that offers any kind of healthcare, and just tell them about XR and what it can do. I'll go along and meet them, do a demonstration, and just show them about the power of XR and how it can help them help their patients. So that's the main part. And besides that, there is opportunity everywhere. We're a startup. This is a maturing market. And with that, any idea about collaboration with other companies or other developers or anything, that could add value to the mission. I'm on the lookout for those opportunities. So it could be quite an exciting mix.
Thank you for that. Nadia, I'm also curious to see your take on this because you guys have very similar roles. So,
of course, I think we are want to improve healthcare with XR, extended reality. And what we do is that we implement it at hospitals and we advise them about how they can use XR. And some of the things we can help with is, for example, reducing pain and anxiety. We can help with movement and rehabilitation, and in general, train both patient and doctors and nurses with simulations.
I can go next. So as a content developer, my role is to create content for the VR headsets, as I mentioned. And this would mean games for relax and distract, exercises that would help rehabilitate people better, and also rehabilitation apps specific for a certain movement, exercise, or treatment.
As being part of the platform team, our main goal is to get the requirements that is needed in a specific time to meet our customers' needs. And regardless if that are devices, apps, or everything, our main goal is to get a better experience for them when using our dashboard and basically getting all the other things to work, content team and the business developers, of course.
So what do you enjoy most about the work you do? And of course, feel free to mention any challenges that you face as well, starting with Isti.
What do I enjoy most? The thing I like the most about it is that my work is effectively bringing the future into today. A lot of the tech that we work with to a lot of people is stuff from a movie. So it's really cool being part of that process and making it a reality for a lot of people. And it's really cool also being involved in that process of bringing the future into today. So right now, the things that I'm imagining how this tech can benefit people, just the infrastructure is not there, the relationships aren't there, people haven't thought about it. How do you make that reality a thing? You have to start speaking to people, get the idea out there, bring other people together. So I kind of love the hustle about it as well. There definitely is a hustle, but it's a good hustle. So I think those are the few things that I enjoy the most.
I think what I enjoy the most about my work is seeing how XR is helping doctors and nurses with their work, but also improving the patient experience in general. We can see when we're out there how revolution it is to use XR for healthcare, and how it really do help people with reducing pain and anxiety, and you get to move people who would normally not move because they get inspired and find it really playful to play with XR. And like, I really think there's a future in it, so it's really cool to see that, you know, we can help with bringing hospitals nowadays into the future.
So for me, probably the most fun and also challenging thing would be, of course, to create unique content that would also help rehabilitate a person in a way with a fun and awesome exercise, which will gamifying exercises. I think that's for me is the most fun part of being a developer.
What I enjoy the most is having an impact on people's lives. I mean, I'm not directly doing VR apps, but I'm taking part of making those VR apps to go to persons, and it's always nice to feel that someone is getting their lives better from something that you do. And of course, on a more technical side, it's a very fast moving area, which it's always getting new things. We are always trying to do new features, everything that are requested. So yeah, I think everything together, it's really great.
All right, the next question. What does a regular workday look like for you guys? Starting with Isti.
Regular day, so catching up with hospitals that I've reaching out to brand new hospitals. I've also got getting involved in bringing third parties onto our platform. So our platform, hosts other people or other companies that make great apps, and we want to make those apps available to the hospitals we speak to. So building those relationships. And being part of a few conversations that again advances XR in healthcare. So for example, we're working really closely with the NHS to look at how XR can be used for training and education, and the NHS are putting a lot of emphasis into bringing that out on scale. So I'm part of that conversation, but it also means doing a lot of work to navigate us and put us in a good position for that. It could be, it varies. There could be some funding applications I'm going for, which can take my time. So it really does vary what a day is like, but definitely busy would cover it in one word.
I wouldn't say I had a regular work day. Like, I feel like every day is different. There are so many things within this field that's changing so fast that saying a regular day that some days are the same would be wrong to say. But I do have things that continuously comes again. For example, cold calling, reaching out to leads, maintaining good customer relations, workshop, doing demos at hospitals. But like, as I see it, every case I take on, or like assignment I take on, is different. So you have to approach them in different way every time.
So my days mainly exist out of coding, of course, coding video games and testing all those games. But there are also meetings to this as well, some daily content meetings, and yeah.
Well, a regular day. It starts with a daily stand-up with the platform team, which we talk about what we are going to do in the day. How was our previous day? If we are blocking anything, if we need help, and then it's mostly coding. Then it depends also on meetings that we can have. We can have planning meetings, check for bugs, check for what we need, check for new features. But I would say a typical software developer day, which I like. So it's cool.
All right. So my next question to you guys would be, how would you describe working in a
Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Healthcare, if you care about people and you enjoy those moments when you see your work making a difference to someone's lives, that stuff's soul for the food, food for the soul. So I'm going to say, it's awesome. So yeah, healthcare is cool. It can be challenging at times, but it's cool. And a startup is also cool. It's a bit like being thrown in the deep end sometimes. There's a lot to do, and being a startup, there's lots of things that's going to be figured out, but that's just part of the journey. So yeah, you get really involved in lots of things early on, like meaningful projects. So yeah, fast pace, a lot of things to keep your eyes on. So managing yourself is important, but yeah, overall good.
Working in a healthcare startup is definitely hard work. It's very busy, and you have a lot of different tasks to take care of. Besides that, you need to keep yourself on top of your knowledge. So it's also a very knowledgeable job. Like, you get to learn about the field that you maybe didn't think you will ever pursue. So that is really interesting, and you get to learn so much about how our system works, like a company, but also healthcare and in general, like how the whole government system is built up. So you learn a lot by working in a healthcare startup, and both in good ways, but also you get to try like tasks you maybe never would have thought you would ever get to do. So it's really learnful and fun, but you need to be shaped in a special way to fit in a startup, I would definitely say.
I would say it's great. In general, I love to see all the videos of people playing our games and feeling well during those things. That's truly amazing to see. And of course, yeah, a startup, well, for me in general, it's first job. But what I'm noticing really is that there is, even when you just started, you already get quite some responsibility, which I think is truly interesting to see, that even though you're also a beginner, you get responsibility, and you have to share those responsibilities with others as well, to really make it work, which I think is quite awesome.
Working in a healthcare startup, well, it moves fast, so you have to go with the flow, which is nice. And a really good thing that I like is having an impact on what we do, because when we are starting things, you can always have ownership on what you do, and it will have an impact later. So it's always very grateful on that sense. And again, you can always have an impact on people's lives, which is really great.
All right. So what are some traits that you think are valuable to have in this industry?
I think you need to have a bucket full of initiative for a start. Like I said, this is, A, we're in a startup. B, this is an immature market. So how the market will be in a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's going to be mad different. And the direction of that market can, we have the potential to change the trajectory of, with a great idea or bringing people together or whatever it is. So you need a lot of initiative to make that happen. And also just caring about people. I think I've already touched upon this already. Knowing that your work is meaningful and has a potential to impact loads of people's lives for the better. It's an important quality to have. So that's been my top 2.
I would say some of the traits that you need to have is like being creative, be responsible, and really open-minded. You will be put in front of some tasks that you or other in this company never have dealt with. So you have to be able to find a solution for example, that task. It's really like there's no written book about how the company do, or how you do in the healthcare industry. So it's really being creative, taking responsibility, and like really being open-minded of how you can solve the different solution you meet in your daily work.
I would say being passionate. I think being passionate is a very important thing in this industry. Being passionate about VR, healthcare, and well, finding this perfect blend to create your passion, to make passionable things that would like have really a lot of value in the industry, and that's why I think passion.
I think first of all, liking people, because if you like people, it becomes much easier. Being responsible for what you do, it's great if you feel that you want to take part of something, and have responsibility on that sense. It's a great thing. And yeah, if you were a kid that was afraid of needles when you were a kid, taking blood, well, this is your industry, this is your company, because it will help many other kids that have afraid of needles.
All right. What do you think is the best part about working remotely?
For me, probably the flexibility. Yeah, just hands-on flexibility. I've got 2 kids, so being available is important to my family, and so it's important to me. So yeah, so for me that's by far the best part, flexibility.
I would say the flexibility, but with the flexibility also comes a lot of trust. It's really nice that the company recognize that we all people and that our daily life also is important for us. If you have happy customers, by giving them flexibilities, you also have happy workers. So I definitely think the flexibility is giving a lot of like good traits in general for the whole company and being able to work remotely.
I would definitely say flexibility. Since I'm someone that cannot sit behind the desk for 8 hours, it's great to be able to like work whenever I'd like to, besides a few meetings, and maybe blasting music really loud from my own house with no one I can disturb. I think those 2 things are probably the best things.
I would say flexibility and freedom to have your working day as you wish. Just thinking about going to the supermarket in off-peak hours, it's a blessing. So, and not only that, but all the other things you can do and how you can organize your day.
All right. And my last question will be, what advice would you give to someone who is about to start working remotely?
Get some plants. That's it. Get some plants. No, and make sure you're getting out and doing some exercise. It is very easy to when you're working from home to just be work almost too much, because the boundary between home and work life is a thing. And I guess that's another second piece of advice in managing that. But first of all, get some plants. It's just good for your mental health. Have some greenery about.
I would say, get a nice working space, buy a nice big desk, a standing sitting desk or something like that, which would make your working days much more comfortable.
Buy a good chair, because your back will thank you for that in the future. And have a different space of what you do on how you sleep and where you sleep, different from your office, let's call it, because it's better to just sometimes switch off and switch on when you need to work.
It definitely takes a lot from yourself. Like you need to be able to tell yourself that you want to sit down and work, and also being able to believe in the trust that the company gives you. So you have to be able to plan good and know that you can take care of yourself.